I will be talking about how light affects your circadian rhythm. First, I'll give some background information. Light is emitted in waves. The visible light spectrum, which includes light we can detect as colors, is part of the electromagnetic spectrum. This spectrum includes waves that we cannot see, from high energy waves, such as gamma rays, to low energy waves, such as radio waves. The visible light spectrum goes from violet blue with a shorter wavelength to orange and red with longer wavelengths. The light with a shorter wavelength, which means higher frequency, has high energy. Blue, having one of the shorter wavelengths, is high energy. Things with high energy are brighter because more photons hit the eye per second. Blue light impacts the retina more when hit with this high frequency of light. This is why computer screens emit mostly blue light. Light bends through the cornea, aqueous cavities, and the lens to hit your eye on the retina and focus the light. The lens in the eye is convex and rounded, which means it converges light on a single point. Although the photoreceptors that affect the circadian rhythm do not rely on focused images but rather on the brightness of light. When light hits the retina, photoreceptors, called rods, with rhodopsin and different colored cones, including red, blue, and green, with photopsin, focus the image by taking in the waves of light that correspond to the color, and in rod's case, dim light. There is a third kind of photoreceptor in the retinal ganglion cells on the retina. These are called melanopsin. They sense the brightness of light and are sensitive to blue light waves because of the high frequency. They turn the detected brightness of light into signals. These signals are sent through the optic nerve to the pineal gland and the suprachiasmatic nucleus, which is also called the SCN. It acts as the main clock in the body, which monitors the release of hormones, which I will go into more detail later. How these signals are made and travel there involves the sodium-potassium pump and sensory transduction. Positively charged sodium is on the outside of the membrane, and on the other side is positively charged potassium, mixed with negatively charged proteins. There is more positive potassium outside than inside, so the inside has a negative charge. The protein can pump out 2 potassium ions per every 3 sodium ions, which creates a gradient. Ion channels can also all open to allow ions to move through when enough potential stimulus is reached, making an action potential. This is made by crossing a threshold by making the membrane very depolarized, when making the inside of the membrane more positive. It opens pathways around it to do the same, and as it does this, the positive ions move out of that portion as negative ions move back inward to return it to resting potential. Your circadian rhythm comes from the Latin meaning about a day, and it takes about 24 hours for a full cycle. It is monitored by the suprachiasmatic nucleus of the brain, which makes sure to monitor sleep cycles, fullness when eating, body temperature, blood pressure, and it also makes sure melatonin, leptin, and other hormones are secreted at the correct times when they're supposed to be. Many of these are secreted at night for cell repair and to keep you in good health by suppressing diseases. When you do not wind down to sleep and are exposed to a lot of blue light late at night, your sleeping cycle is delayed. And waking up early disrupts the shifted cycle as well because the sun shines through your window and stimulates melanopsin in your retina. This makes the hormones that are usually secreted at night unable to be secreted in the usual and needed amounts, so they cannot do their job as well. It also makes it harder to get up in the morning because the cycle is delayed. More light at night means a more delayed cycle, less time for rest, and less time for hormone secretion. This is why continuously staying up late at night while exposed to light can cause depression and low energy from low amounts of melatonin at night, obesity from not being full because not enough leptin, which keeps you full, is secreted, high blood pressure because it is not well regulated at night, and poor health, and even cancer because diseases and tumors are not being as suppressed as they usually are at night. In conclusion, don't stay up late, staring at screens or pulling all-nighters. Make sure to get enough sleep at night. Get up when the sun tells you to. And, finally, thank you for watching How Light Affects Your Circadian Rhythm.